Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is RetroDog34, and in this video I'm going to show you 15 great tips to new and maybe old players venturing into Elder Scrolls for 2021. These beginner tips will get you started off on the right foot as you jump into Elder Scrolls Online. If you're new to the channel, you should consider subscribing, where we regularly publish Vet Undaunted dungeon runs, hard mode achievement runs, and casual guild trial runs. You can also follow me at twitch.tv/retrodog34, where I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. With that being said, let's do it to it and get to the list. So with tip number 1, once you finish your character creation and tutorial, you will have access to 3 skill points available to you. Each class in the game have different and unique skill lines, so the best thing to do is to place 1 skill point in each of the skill lines. This way you can ensure that you are leveling each skill line equally. On top of that, providing your character 3 new skills to use as you progress through the game. Next up is tip number 2. This is where you want to go into your options. You want to go down to gameplay, go down to friendly colors and enemy colors. This is where you want to change your friendly colors to a bright green or bright blue. You want to change your enemy colors from the red to a bright pink or bright yellow. I use a bright pink. You also want to go down to quick cast and prevent attacking innocents. Quick cast you want to toggle on, and your prevent attacking innocents you want to switch to on. Next, you want to go to your interface. You can keep your display name. I keep mine on preferred gamer tag. Next, you want to go to nameplates. You can put this on. That way everything kind of shows up. Next, you want to go down to combat. You want on the abilities bar, you want to put this to always show. Next, you want to go to attributes bar and put that to always show. Resource numbers, you want to put to numbers and percent. Active combat tips you can keep as automatic, and ultimate number you want to put on. Scroll down till you get down to buffs and debuffs. You want to put this on always show. Buffs will automatically trigger on, and everything should be on. You can put from others to on or off, and I keep mine as off. Next up is tip number 3. This is where you want to use the way shrines within Tamriel. The first up, you want to travel to your starting locations or starting islands of Stras Makai, Carneath's Roost, and Bleak Rock Island for learning how to move around Tamriel using the way shrines. The way shrines are some of the easiest things to use within questing, within jumping to trials, within going to different areas. Fast travel, as it's called, is just one of the easier ways to move around in Tamriel. Next up is tip number 4, Sky Shards. These are scattered throughout all of Tamriel. By collecting 3, you gain 1 skill point. As we've seen going through this, collecting skill points is necessary to building out your character. So collect as many Sky Shards as possible. All you have to do is decipher the hints found in the Sky Shards section of your achievement menu. Next up is tip number 5, your zone guide. In your zone guide, you'll find your starting story, your different achievements that you're going to collect throughout all of Tamriel. You can see how many points of interest that you need to collect, including way shrines, points of interest, striking locales, Sky Shards that you need to collect, and library books. You can also collect delves, public dungeons, crafting stations, world events, and world bosses. Next up is tip number 6, unlocking your Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, and Undaunted skill lines. To unlock these skill lines, you will need to travel to your individual starter towns. Daggerfall, if your alliance is Daggerfall Covenant, Vocal Guard, if your alliance is Aldemiri Dominion, and Devon's Watch, if you're part of the Ebonheart Pact. You'll also find the Mages skill line and your Undaunted skill line in these individual starter towns. To level up these skill lines, it's a bit different than your other skill lines. For Fighters Guild, you'll need to kill Undead, Daedra, or destroy Dolmens. Undaunted, complete dungeons and dungeon achievements. For your Mages Guild, collect lore books that are throughout all of Tamriel. Of these three skill lines, the easiest to level, in my opinion, is the Fighters Guild. Next is your Undaunted. Lastly, the Mages skill line. And the reason why the Mages skill line is the most difficult is actually finding and locating these skill books. These lore books, or library books, like I called them earlier, are just hard to find and take a lot of time to collect and get experience for. Next up is tip number 7, unlocking your free house. There's a starter quest that you can pick up and you'll get a free house once you finish the quest line. Next up is tip number 8, train your mount. If you don't buy books from the Crown Store, this will take you 6 months to finish. So don't forget to log in daily and train that mount. Next up is tip number 9, questing. Do as many quests as possible. Many provide skill points and some even provide equipment and weapons. There are so many quests in ESO that you can easily level to 50 and the current champion point or CP cap. You can do the main storyline, zone storylines, delve quests, public dungeons, and these are just to name a few. Next up is tip number 10. Use different weapons. This will allow you and your character to be flexible as new builds come out or changes. I mean, after all, this is an MMO. Leveling up different weapons adds an additional benefit, which is your different playstyle. Your playstyle will change over time. Unlike other MMOs, if you're playing a tank, that is all that character will be. It's always going to be a tank. But that's not the case in ESO. You can play a tank this week and a DPS or healer the next week, just as long as you have the right skills, equipment, and CP. Next up is tip number 11, delves. Delves are dungeon-like areas throughout all of Tamriel. All have quest lines associated with them, all have sky shards and delve bosses. While the delves don't offer much challenge to level 50s and max CPs, they do offer a low-level character to be a little challenged. The great thing about delves are they are completely soloable. If you're looking to get away from grinding undaunted dungeons or trials, and even the occasional Cyrodiil runs, these are some of the best places for you. The quest lines alone that are associated with the delves are usually entertaining and very intriguing. Next up is tip number 12. Quick slot your food, drink, and potions. This will help out a lot when running the various content, and if your food or drink buffs do run out, it's a quick toggle to get them active again. Tip number 13, Mundus Stones. These grant your character a permanent buff. As you adventure throughout Tamriel, you will come across various ones in different zones. These buffs stay active until they are overridden by another Mundus Stone buff. You can also obtain these as furnishing. Many guilds have these available to their members. Number 14, join a guild. The various guilds in ESO is pretty extensive, ranging from trading, group PvE, role-playing, social, PvP, questing, and crafting. Choose the one that best meets your playstyle. Many guilds have you submit an application. This way they can vet the applicant to see if they are a good fit with the current members. The last tip, Tip number 15. Log in daily. Grab that daily reward. Granted, these are not the greatest or even game breaking, but they do offer gold, food buff, and potions, and sometimes poisons. Sometimes you can even get unique items that the devs decide to put into the calendar for the month. The bonus is this: when you log in to get your daily reward, don't forget to train your mount. With that, thanks for watching. I hope these 15 tips help you out as you jump into Elder Scrolls Online. If you like the content, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell so that you will be notified when I post a new video. Also, if you have further questions, jump into the Discord. Link is below. And the community will help you out as much as possible. You can also catch me live on Twitch, Tuesdays, Thursday nights, and Saturday and Sunday mornings. With that, happy adventuring in ESO.